welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Akubeze and I'm a weekly vlogger based in Lagos, Nigeria. Please be sure to subscribe. We're almost at 10,000 subscribers. Like this video, share it, and just show me some love, yo, please. Let me just apologize in advance because this video may be a bit rushed. Watch my vlog, which will come out on Sunday, so you can understand why. But yeah, I have a meeting. That's also why I'm looking quite corporate. And yeah, we're just gonna jump right into the questions. Thank you so much to everybody who sent a question last week. I really love that you guys are actually engaging with me and, you know, feeling this content. I've been getting lots of nice feedback on it, so thank you again. If you have a question, what you need to do is just email me at akubeze@hotmail.com, or you can leave a comment below and I will pick some and answer next week. Okay, first question. Hi Aku, how are you feeling after COVID? Thank you. I got a few people actually reach out to me, sending their regards and, you know, letting me know that they're praying for me, wishing me speedy recovery and all. I feel like my own COVID experience was so strange because I was asymptomatic and I tested negative after 10 days in isolation. So it's weird. I feel fine, you know. It was just the isolation that was the hardest part, like being at home like on my own was so annoying. Yeah, so how am I feeling? I'm feeling fine. My COVID experience wasn't the worst, so I'm just grateful to God that I didn't have any like major symptoms or anything, like, and I'm grateful that I tested negative very quickly as well, because I heard that there are some people who like they test like 3 times before they eventually get their negative result again. So, you know, I'm just grateful. And isolation was really the hardest part of it all. I was eating like a mess. I was just feeling like so bored, so lonely. I couldn't go out. You know, my friends would check on me, but then not really as well. There's some friends that also didn't check on me, so shade. If you all are watching this, then terrible. But yeah, so it was weird. But I'm all in all, I'm grateful. I'm over it and I'm back. I'm moving. Okay, next question. Ako, how are your emotions this week? What changes do you think you need to make your weekdays more productive? My emotions were actually very strange last week. She sent that question last week. They were very strange because I started feeling very lonely at a point and just feeling very like, you know, low. Like I was really craving companionship. Like being in isolation alone is the worst, and I always say that that's part of why I moved to Lagos. Like I don't want to get stuck in another pandemic and be alone, because I lived alone in Abuja, whereas here at least my sister is here, my auntie is here. Like I have different family members here, even if it's distant family and stuff. So, you know, my cousin is here. So you know, I don't know, I just felt like it was really like lonely in isolation, and it also made me lazy. So I really wasn't productive at all last week. Like I was missing out on things. But then towards the end of the week, when I got my negative results, my emotions were lifted again. I was happy. I hosted friends, I went out for dinner. So, you know, I just started feeling like, oh, you know, I'm getting back to myself and all. What changes do you think you have to make? Do I think you have to make weekdays more productive? The change is planning. Like you need to plan ahead. Like I find that now I have an Excel sheet on my laptop where I have like my to-do list, my different things like you know, appointments or meetings or whatever like I need to do on each specific day. I write it out a week ahead, so that, you know, I'm not thinking of what I need to do. I'm just going through the list and checking off what I need to. Whatever I don't fulfill, and move it on to the next week. I even find that there's some people who do that with outfits. Luckily for me, I work from home, so I don't need to plan like my outfits for every day of the week. But then planning, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. That's the one. So yeah, I think planning just changes everything, and it helps you be more productive. I think working out as well helps you be more productive. For me, especially in the morning, wake up, work out, and then you kind of just start your day on a high note. I couldn't really work out the last 2 weeks because of my isolation, and then this week, so one of my friends who also had COVID was telling me that her GP told her you shouldn't work out for 3 weeks after having COVID. So I'm like, let me not go and overdo. So I haven't yet worked out, but I've been tempted to resume. So planning, working out, and last but not the least, which should have actually been the first, prayer. My days, like, you know, I think just staying connected helps you be more productive when you're talking to God about everything that you're doing and just trying to like reason it with him and, you know, figure out your strategy. Also helps you with your planning as well. So those three. Okay, next question. Do you plan on branching out creatively and doing other things besides YouTube, like acting, modeling, for instance? Acting and modeling, I'm not sure, because I don't know. I think I personally have no issue with that career route, but I think it's just my mom that put it in me from a young age that, you know, it's not like overexposure is not good. Like, you know, like it will make me water down my specialness or my essence type of thing. So I don't know if I would really ever go into acting and modeling. I do like modeling gigs for like friends, or should I call it like close people, shall we? So I don't know, you can never say never, to be very honest. I think I'm open to it. Modeling more than acting. Modeling, like face modeling, not even full body modeling, just anything that's like heads up. So I would say yes, but I would be, honestly, there's still something in me that's not so comfortable with it, but I know that I've done it before on a smaller scale, so why can't I do it on a larger scale? And I think there's definitely good money in it as long as it's done well. But then branching out creatively, I feel like I do creative work. I'm a communications consultant still, so I'm working for companies doing their social media. That's still creative work in my opinion, doing their graphics, you know, planning events, things like that. So I think one other thing I would definitely love to do is be a host of like a TV show or like an event, or I just love hosting. So whether I'm hosting people from behind the camera or hosting people in person, I would definitely love to do that. Okay, next question. Have you ever felt like you are behind because some of your peers are married? Because I do, as a 25-year-old unmarried woman, but I know I am not mentally or financially ready to be anyone's wife. That's a deep question. You're only 25, baby girl. Why are you already feeling pressured or feeling like you're behind? I think for me, in fact, it just all hits me this year that I really only have one close friend that's married. So generally my whole crew, we're not hungry for the peas right now. You know, everybody is hustling. And I think that is even what pressures me more than getting married. Like, I'm more pressured to be successful. Like, I'm more pressured to like make a name for myself than for me to change my last name. Does that make sense? So actually, there's a follow-up question to this question. Somebody sent a question, but it's worded differently. So let me read that. It says, please talk about finding love and the pressure of getting married. I know this is a rather cliche topic, and a lot has already been said about it. I am 27, independent and scared I may not find true love after 2 failed attempts. I didn't used to give it a lot of thought, but it suddenly hit that I'm approaching 30. I must admit though, I am quite selective and I seriously do not want to settle. Anyways, I apologize for the long write-up. I just wish to hear a fresh perspective on the issue. Thank you so much for sending like such a detailed message and for also sharing your personal experience. Like 2 failed attempts, you're strong, like really. But you know, I think I can definitely relate to the part where it suddenly hits that you're approaching 30 and you know, those things that are meant to have been ticked off haven't yet been ticked off. I feel like when I got to 27 last year, I was just like, wow, I'm 27. Like how? Where did time go? Like I still feel like I'm 17. So I think the pressure comes from reaching 30 because, you know, society has just put it on you that, oh, you know, from 30 your value just starts going down. You know what, we actually spoke about this before, like, you know, you're watered down, child. You're not in your prime anymore. From 30 you start regressing. But I don't think that's true. I think that, you know, the internet definitely has shown that there are people who are finding love later in life. And like, you know, everybody's time limit is different. Everybody's time frame is different. Look at J-Lo. She keeps bouncing back and she keeps bouncing back stronger than ever. Like, oh, I was even seeing there was this whole conversation about Lori Harvey dating multiple guys, and you know, like essentially enjoying her 20s, and I'm like, it's not limited to your 20s, though. You can do it at any age. Have you people forgotten the OG JLo? So in fact, I think that there's definitely pressure to get married, but is there pressure to find love? I don't think so. I don't think that people even associate marriage with love. Like, marriage to most people, at least in the society that we live in Nigeria, is like a contractual thing. It's just something you do for societal validation or for societal progression as well. Like, I think the people who are patient are actually the ones who are ready to find love, like true love. Like, for me, I wouldn't want to marry just for marrying's sake, or just for money, or you know, for the Mrs. title, or to elevate my position in life or anything. The only reason why I want to marry is because I genuinely feel like I found the person that I can love and spend the rest of my life with, and you know, that I can grow with as well, that wouldn't clip my wings. Like, I feel like marriage is so scary to me. Marriage, I've seen so many bad marriages that I just feel like, or so many failed marriages, let me put it like that, that I just feel like, so what is really in this marriage thing that people are rushing towards it? It's only the family structure that I see is valuable there. And what's the point of having a family structure if it's based on dysfunction? Like, yeah, you can marry somebody just so that you can have children, but then if you guys are always fighting, what kind of children are you actually going to raise? Like, those are going to be children with their own like issues and emotional problems and toxic traits, you know. So I feel like I'm pressured to start a family because I know I'm only getting older. I know that there's science now, but I would rather do things the natural way. That's the honest truth. So I'm pressured to start a family. I'm more pressured to find love and start a family than I am to get married. Like, you know, marriage is like a contract. It's like a binding thing to me. Like, it doesn't seem like a place where growth actually happens and where, you know, like progression actually happens. I feel like love and family is where that happens. There's definitely pressure, but like, your pressure should be on being successful, like how you can be the best version of you, than to start joining yourself to somebody when you really may not be ready. Like, if you're scared, you're actually not ready. Like, if you're feeling pressured, you're actually not ready to be married, because that means you don't even have like a self-confidence, like the self-confidence you need to be married, in my opinion, Sha. And if you're not financially ready, that's from the first person, you're not mentally or financially ready, then you're not ready, dear. Like, the one consistent piece of advice I've heard from married people is, okay, aside from make sure you marry your friend, is, as a woman, make sure you have your own money, because you cannot go to any man's house and start asking him for money for a cream, money for hair wash, money for salon, money for shopping, money for this, money for that. As in, like, have your own, so that nobody will embarrass you and you will not be forced to stay where you don't need to stay. Okay, let's move on. I thought this question was so funny, so I'm like, please let me just address this in case somebody else has this thought on their mind. If you're single, why not date Tayo Aina? I saw a video of two of you in 2019 and I thought you two were actually going to date each other. Hey, shaking tables. Tayo is very, I think, you know, it's an interesting, I thought it was an interesting question, because Tayo and I are friends. Like, we definitely have chemistry, on-screen chemistry and off-screen chemistry. Like, we hang out and stuff, but I feel like, I know, and I don't think I've ever actually told him this, I feel like YouTube is my own thing, you know? Like, if I even get married, like, I don't even want my guy to be running my YouTube. Like, that's why the channel name is Akubeze. You see Chi and Family. I love Chi and Family, by the way. You see Chi and Family, I need like a chef Ola. He comes on Chi's page. Tayo is already his own YouTube personality. I would like to date somebody who is like comfortable being camera friendly and all, but I don't think I would want to date a YouTuber proper, like, because then it will now be like a whole couples thing, and I guess I could still have my own individual identity, I know, but you guys, I'm so scared of losing myself. Like, I feel like I've seen so many people go into relationships and lose themselves. And that's just my biggest fear for me. I always want to be able to maintain who I am as a person. Like, so I don't know, I don't have anything against Tayo, so I understand why you guys would be feeling like, oh, maybe we should have dated. Yeah, we have good chemistry. It will even probably help my channel grow. Trust me, I've thought about it, but that's not just how I want to play things, Sha. I think we're better off as colleagues that will collaborate than to date. Yeah. Okay, next question. I could please help. Do you think it's okay to be friends with a married man? I have been friends with a married man for over a year. I've been friends with this married man for over a year. But then he suddenly told me he has feelings for me last week. Can I still be friends with him after this? This is something that I actually can relate to in a way, because I feel like I have a rule that I don't date married men, first of all. But then I also don't see the problem in being friends with married men. Like, sorry about the truck. Like, like with being friends with married men, like, why can't you guys go for dinner? Why can't you guys hang out? As long as you're keeping things platonic, then what's the issue? But then it gets complicated if the guy now tells you that he has feelings for you and he waited a year. Like, so it's obvious that he was plotting for you because he wanted you guys to have established that friendship. So it makes me now wonder, like, was the friendship honest or genuine from the beginning? Like, he probably even liked you, which is why he approached you in the first place, but can you really trust him fully? Like, I don't know, it would be a bit complicated. And I think now that he has mentioned he has feelings for you, how can you guys really, unless you're able to maturely, like, explain to him that you can't progress and the friendship will have to end if he wants to continue with those feelings. If not, he can just keep his feelings on lock, padlock it somewhere, and then you guys continue with the friendship. But then with that friendship, you also have to watch how you're doing it. What do you guys think? Can you be friends with someone who's married? Like, and another thing, I think marriage just changes the dynamic of friendships in a way, because I find that even female friends, like, your friends will get married and then all of a sudden you never see them, you never hear from them again, and it's just like, wow, okay then, is this what happens? So it's weird. I think naturally maybe society doesn't even encourage married people to have friends that are not married. Yeah. Okay, now moving on to the last question. Aku, how do you handle the Nigerian judgmental culture? How can we fix our self-righteousness? How do I personally handle it? I do what I want. You do what you want when you're capable. Like, within reason, obviously, because it's not necessarily the Nigerian judgmental culture I'm afraid of. I'm more afraid of my parents than to even talk of, like, the general public. So I do what I want, and you just have to be yourself. You just have to own everything about yourself. Own it, like, be who you are and be unashamed about it. And that's why people like Amara the lesbian, she's like, by her YouTube name alone, she's telling you, she's claiming who she is, and it's like, take it or leave it, like, this is me. So if you own who you are, if you're open and honest and raw and real about every single part of you, the good, the bad, and the ugly, then people are just gonna have to either take you that way or leave you. And you will find that people will have to take you because I'm sure you offer more than whatever it is that they are judging you for. So that's one way. Another way is to enlighten. Like, I'm always trying to have conversations with people online and offline. I hear something or a judgmental logic that I may not necessarily agree with, and I'm very quick to speak out. Okay, let's use this rape culture as an example. You go to churches and you see they will write, no short skirt allowed. And in my mind, that already puts the onus on the woman. Like, why is it based on, okay, short skirt that's going to tempt a pastor or is going to tempt somebody? Like, you don't even have to be announcing such. Just write dress modestly, but you must come and write no short skirt allowed, so that it's only women that you think can dress modesty. But by putting dress modesty, that's a general instruction. It encourages both the man to think, oh, I need to be thinking of this as a place where modesty is, so my mind should not even go far. Even if I see somebody that their bra strap is showing under their dress or something, let me not even look, because I'm practicing modesty here. Modesty both in my own thoughts and in my own outward appearance. So it's by challenging those narratives, having conversations that why is that what you're preaching? Why is that what you are why is that the message you're discussing? Why is it, oh, what was she wearing, that you ask when you hear somebody has been raped, than what was going on with the rapist that he felt that he needed to you know, to take advantage of that lady. So I think you definitely have to be confrontational. You have to be able to speak up. You have to challenge people when they are being judgmental and when they are, you know, sharing opinions that are self-righteous, essentially. And I think the way that we can fix our self-righteousness is with exposure. Like, you know, not only is with internal reflection and exposure, not only exposure actually, because internal reflection allows you to see that you're also not perfect. You also have your own things that you know that others may judge you for, but you still do it. So don't be so quick to judge another person. Remove the speck in your eye before you start removing somebody else's eye. But then exposure, like, you know, connecting generally, not even within the Nigerian society, checking what's happening in other societies allows you to see that, you know, there are different ways that different things can be done. Just because somebody has a tattoo, this is a perfect example. I got to church and I got to Hillsong Church in London, and I noticed my pastor had a tattoo, and I'm like, yeah? So tattoo is not for druggies and derelicts in society. Like, you know, a man of God can have a tattoo. And is this right or is this wrong? But shortly after that, my guy, I went and got my cross tattoo, because I'm like, I love tattoos. I've always loved tattoos, but I just always thought that it was a thing for the dregs of society. But here I am, the head pastor in my church has a tattoo. So the exposure allowed me to see that there's a different way of doing things. There's a different way of understanding things. See different lifestyles, see different, you know, ways of expressing yourself and different ways of doing things, different ways that societies are running, and then you pick and choose the ones that you want to apply, and then just engage, you know. So enlighten, expose, reflect. Like, there's so many ways. I don't know, what do you guys think? How can we fix this whole Nigerian judgmental culture and move forward, like, without being so self-righteous? Nobody obviously wants public morality to be brought to shambles. Like, we don't want to be having Sodom and Gomorrah in Nigeria, but still, like, let people live. A woman who leaves her husband should not be castigated from society. What if the guy was beating her? What if she was depressed in that marriage? What if, you know, there are so many alternatives. So just know that, like, everybody deserves the benefit of the doubt. Like, everybody deserves, like, an equal standing, no matter what it is that you feel that they might be judged for. So yeah, that's my own take on that. Please definitely share your thoughts. So that brings us to the end of the video, y'all. Please definitely let me know what you guys think about, you know, the questions I answered in the comment section. And if you have a question, please send me an email, akubeze@hotmail.com, or you can also leave a comment below as well. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Love you.
My walk and my talk been different. My style and my thoughts been different. I got you.